I'm gonna steal your sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
Hey, everybody, we are live with Season 6, Episode 2 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. This is the final season of this show, and if you want to hear more about that, listen to last week's episode. We're not going to drag on about it, all right? We're not going to beat the dead horse that is this show any more than we're already doing it.
How much have we beaten it? Is
lot.
it still kicking?
It's still kicking.
Okay.
We're kicking. We're
All
kicking.
right, all right.
We're putting it down before it's out of its prime.
Gotcha.
Like the horse is winning the last
basically-
race it's ever gonna win, but only because we're shooting the horse right after the race.
So before it breaks its foot.
Before we got to make it glue for a bad
Gotcha.
reason, we're just gonna make it glue because we need glue.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck
right.
happened to this metaphor, but it went somewhere.
It went places, just
It went
like
places,
this show.
just like this show. He's going places to a nice farm upstate. I am your host, Kyle Mocha. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live. If you're tuning in live, thank you. If you are tuning in the future on Apple Podcasts, if you're listening, I never called it Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. I am being correct today. Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you may be listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we love the people that are listening in the past. We don't know how you do it. You just keep doing it. So thank you so much for staying back there, not coming to the future, but only coming to the future to listen to us.
Yeah.
It's totally a thing that's happening. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Justin Olimpedo.
Hey, man.
How we doing today, brother?
All right. We had some crazy weather.
Yeah, today and the last couple of days don't want to make up their minds. It's torrential downpour and then
hot and muggy. It
like,
literally feels
terrible
like
heat.
Florida humidity.
Yeah, now what's crazy is my new apartment is chill. It is cold. I made my neighbors go check it out last night. I made Steve-O and Jen go check out how cold my apartment was. I got home from work. AC was not on all day.
Right.
But just the way the sun hits, it's never in the sunlight.
Isn't it? Didn't you say that in the winter it's hot too?
Oh, it's hot as balls because we figured it out. The heater in the basement had a switch that they had never turned off, and it was just always on blasting, so it would blast all summer long, all the time. And then we figured out there was a little light switch on the side of it, and there's no thermostats in the apartments. Either way, I got a nice chill apartment, and I don't know how I've been surviving the last couple of days, but it's staying nice and cool, and that's awesome. And speaking of nice and cool and awesome, we are now joined. We've been joined. He is here, Mr.
here.
Zachary. Stormin. Very nice.
What is going on?
A nice
Hang
subtle
on a
pop.
second.
A nice subtle pop. Zach keeps freezing over there.
Yeah, I don't
Zach
know.
keeps freezing.
What the deal with
I
this.
mean, or he's just. You're still looking at your phone on the on the image there.
so weird.
Don't
dude.
fix it. Just leave it like that. Just make it look like he's like not paying attention.
I was looking at this screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, how are you opening that can so nonchalantly? And Kyle's not even mentioning the fact that you're just like,
Yeah. Well, I was watching the live thing happen. Yeah, who knows? Who knows there? But we got a really special episode for you today. We're doing something that we've only really done once before. We have a pre-taped segment. We did the one with Dom and the tattoos last
Showing
season.
our dicks.
And this one is all about us showing our penises. We had to get some special lenses for mine. And then since he already had them, we just made Zach's look better. And then we used it on Justin's, and you couldn't see it. It was too zoomed in. It was just too zoomed in. New tradition, talking about Justin's dick immediately on the show.
You've been doing that
I've
lately.
been doing that. You
It's
brought
been
up dicks
happening.
this time. How are you going to bring up dicks and I'm not going to bring up his giant penis?
That's your prerogative.
It's my prerogative.
Bobby Brown.
I just want everybody to know I'm very proud of my friend over there, his giant wiener. But we've got a pre-taped segment. We did an interview with Don't Panic. We will also be releasing, they released it the other day, but their new lyric video for their single Whoa I off of the album Dark
Whoa
Horse. Whoa I.
whoa,
Like
W-O-E-I.
I.
Well, like woe is me, but woe I. When you hear it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
When I read it, I was kind of confused, but then I heard it, and then it makes sense. But we've got that coming for you guys. Then we also have the second song off of our album, Wasted and Waiting. It's called Hanging for a Sign, so we're going to be talking about that and getting into that a little bit. But I did want to bring this up. Zach, you are officially now, I don't want to blow up your medical records and stuff like that, but you got your second shot.
Yep.
You're vaxxed. You're Zaxed now. You're a Zaxed boy.
Zaxed up.
What
All
I was
Zaxed
curious,
up.
what brand did you go with?
Moderna.
You went with, damn it, all right.
Yeah.
Because Justin went with Moderna, I went with Johnson & Johnson. I was hoping one of you went with the other one, so we'd
I just
have
went with whatever they gave
what they
me.
had
I
available.
didn't-
Yeah. I went
I
on the
just got
website and
it.
just said I would like Johnson & Johnson, and then they got me to the place that would most likely have it.
Right.
Still really weird. The Target CVS was a weird place to get a shot.
I got it at Walmart.
Walmart. I was going to ask where you went for yours.
I did the most American thing, and put it off until the last second.
Yeah.
Then just Googled it and said Walmart's like, yeah, we'll take you. I don't know, in an hour. I was like, all right.
Now, what was it set up like? It's just over by the pharmacy. Do they have a little
Yeah,
blocked
they got a
area?
little blue booth.
Okay.
And both times I was injected by people I couldn't understand.
Oh.
The one woman, I mean, they both did a fine job.
Right.
But I could not understand either of the nurses.
What they were telling
what
you?
language they were
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah.
They didn't speak English to you at all.
And it wasn't like Spanish.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a normal.
It wasn't a language that you
I
hear.
don't want to
often.
say normal.
It
Well,
wasn't
well,
a
you know,
language
it wasn't
you
something
hear
you were
every
used
I'm
to.
day.
used to
Yeah,
hearing
yeah.
Spanish all the
Yeah.
time.
Right.
But both of them, I could not tell where they were from or what language they were speaking.
And it was extra weird because
And I
they
was
were
just
both
like-
bright pink skin color. They had both bright
Yes,
pink.
and they had no
were like
just holes
bright
for ears.
Holes for ears. They looked
so
like one of those stress dolls.
I got the
They were
alien,
going.
the alien vaccine.
Yeah.
No, not they weren't. I just don't know. It was
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird. Not that
Yeah.
I'm upset about it.
No.
It just is the thing that happened.
Was it more comforting to just be able to sit down, not understand what they were saying, they just give you the shot and you leave? Or were you more like, I think I might have missed some important information here? They're like, don't go to the swimming pool, don't go outside.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I
anything.
did the one. I could understand the one lady like what arm I wanted it.
Yeah.
Like right or left.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Okay. Did it hurt?
So they
the
tried to.
second one?
Did they try and like talk to you or communicate to you?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
they
just
did.
kept going, what? What?
Wow.
And I was just like, all right, I just let it happen.
Yeah.
Huh?
Now, which shot hurt worse for you?
The first one.
The first one was worse?
First one kicked my ass.
And your
so
reaction to the
hard.
first one was pretty bad. You were working 2 days after this one. Did you feel any of the residual effects?
Felt bad, but not as bad.
Not
as
as bad.
Time.
Justin, you got your one. You're going for your second shortly.
Yes.
Do you think you're gonna get knocked out for the second one, or do you think it's gonna fare in that way?
I don't know.
Where are your nerves setting at right now?
I just felt tired.
Yeah.
Like I just felt drained on the first one. So I have a feeling from just like the track record of everybody else saying that if the first one was pretty decent, the second one's gonna kick your ass. And vice versa, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was the exact opposite.
I'm just curious because the Johnson & Johnson literally knocked me out for the better part of like 3 days. Granted, I went golfing out in the rain in the middle of that, and that did not help.
Yeah,
Rich
I got
is totally protected.
Shit-faced.
7 shots, 4 different clinics.
Oh, damn! You're just taking all the
Rich
extras. Yeah, he's going for.
It's Fast and Furious 11.
Oh, I'm gonna just say this: don't take more than what you need on that. I usually tell you to go do whatever you want, but on the vaccine, I don't think you need.
Yeah, I usually
7
go
of them.
ham on the needle, if you know what I mean. Heroin.
Speaking of heroines, one of my heroes, Mr. Anthony DeAngelis, was not on the episode of Let Me Ask You a Question that we recorded the other day.
We did.
But we were.
All 3 of us got to do, for the first time, all 3 of us guested together on another podcast.
Yes.
Zach and I have done 2 episodes of Not Movies in the past. I've done Let Me Ask You a Question on my own twice. So this is the first time we got to do it. It was almost family, like the best, like extended family style.
Right.
Anthony's always pulling for them to have all 3 of them on the show, and Greg, has a life and a new house and all of these things. So he's busy.
What a loser doing.
What a
all that
loser
stuff.
buying a house. Jesus, what are you, like, productive and professional and stuff? Like an adult?
Come on now.
Jeez. You're stupid. But it was a really fun time. It was a really cool time. I feel bad for Eric having to edit all of us because we are.
You just scream and yell and talk over
And
each
we're
other?
used to doing our show, and we were sitting in the spots that we do our show.
Yeah.
And at certain times, I had to like stop myself and be like, "Yeah, well, what do you think, Justin? Zach, over to you."
Yeah.
And remember that we weren't interviewing people; we were being interviewed. But that episode is dropping hopefully tomorrow. Again,
I hope he calls it Everybody's Strange Addictions.
Everybody's Strange Addictions. Yeah, we talk about addictions in the episode, so you'll have to check that out to hear what everybody's addiction is. But I have been thinking a lot about Eric's since he discussed it the other day. And check it out and let us know what you think, and just subscribe to them, like them. They're over at moot.tv where you can find all of our stuff. I'll be plugging that later on as well. But I'm really excited to try to get other podcasts to get us on as guests, like I'm trying to get us on other people's shit, and with the whole change coming up, we'll have a little bit more time, so maybe we'll get on a couple other podcasts, maybe some other YouTube shows or something like that.
We're going to have 15
I'd like to be
podcasts.
on that podcast.
We're going to be famous.
With only the people from The Office, where they talk about episodes of The Office.
Oh, yes.
They're like, "What do you think, Zach?" And I'd be like, I wasn't on this show. And then I would leave back, they'd talk for 20 minutes, like, "What do you think, Zach?" I'd be like, "Well,
I've been to Scranton.
I wasn't a cast member on this show."
But thank you for inviting me.
They keep talking to me like I am. I just keep reminding.
I wasn't there, right?
Yeah,
Again.
I watched it, but like I wasn't there, guys.
Well, let's get working on that. Let's get us on that show. Let's get us on.
Pam and Angela are holding me against my will, and I'm not upset about
I
it.
wouldn't be upset about it. I definitely, especially if they call themselves Pam and Angela, because she's Angela. Angela's Angela.
I don't remember.
And then
Pam's real name.
Yeah, Jenna Fisher.
Jenna Fisher. Yeah. I knew that.
But I would just call
Kevin's
her.
real name is Kevin.
Yeah, a lot of the back. I think most, like half of the background, Oscar.
Meredith.
Yeah, they're all their names because it was just easier. Because I think they weren't supposed to be. Not everybody was supposed to be a recurring character on the show. Like, even though it's set in an office, doesn't make sense to not have them recurring. Unless it's just an office full of temps. That's a different show.
Yeah.
That show wouldn't go 9 seasons, you know?
It might.
It might. Temps. That sounds like a Ricky Gervais style show anyway.
Yeah,
it definitely sounds like something he would do.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we've got a lot of shit to cover tonight.
Yeah.
And the first thing that we have to cover is this beverage. We
That
have
wall?
to drink
Oh,
this
sorry.
this weird seltzer we got here. So Justin, let's hit it. What are we drinking?
Wolf.
We drink it so you don't have to. Review it in the morning from the bathroom. Cheap booze and craft brews. Review it in the morning from the bathroom. What are we drinking? What are we drinking? Yeah!
Do they make cock filters?
Dental dams.
Maybe.
Dental dams is a cock filter. A dental dam is a cock filter.
I guess so. I guess it would be.
Weird.
Filters out the bad seed.
I gotta admit that the first time I heard someone
Used a dental dam.
say, first time I used a dental dam, I was like, this isn't working. I thought it was. I was probably like 15, and I heard the phrase dental dam in like a movie or something like that, and
Wait,
Is
you
it-
didn't have sex ed where they went over dental dams?
maybe, but I didn't pay attention to it.
Fair enough.
I was
Have you
too- I
ever
was too ashamed.
used or been involved in the use of one?
No, so I still
Me
don't
neither.
want.
I
I
have
don't
not
think
either.
anyone ever.
I don't want
has.
100% really
Who is
know
using it?
exactly what it is, and I'll be honest about that because I just, when I heard it, just assumed it was like a thing you put in your mouth.
It's like a
It's
bowl-
basically
like
a piece of plastic.
Yeah,
that
piece
you-
of plastic. So your mouth
Doesn't
is
touch.
not actually touching whatever
Okay.
you're mouthing.
I was thinking it was something that went into a person's mouth who was then putting a wiener in their mouth.
Yeah, it can be.
It can be? Okay.
I think, right?
And then
Okay.
I heard another description, and then my
just be a
imagination
condom at
went
that
to
point?
it's just like fruit by the foot stretched over a vagina, and you're licking it. And then now I want to know, do they have
flavored dental
flavored
dams?
dental
I'm
dude.
sure that they do.
Well, if they do, I hope it's
I
flavored.
feel like most
Classic
women
lemon.
just don't.
Why do they call it dental too, though? That makes it so
Makes
much
me think
worse.
that it's more your mouth.
I
Like
assume.
some-
If
someone's
you're using your
like,
teeth, use your
Hey,
teeth.
you want some head, or hey, you want some teeth?
Yeah.
The answer is no. I do not want any
I want a
teeth.
little bit of
No,
teeth.
thank
I like.
you.
I don't mind a little bit of teeth. Grazing on the pullout isn't a bad thing sometimes. Hopefully,
No,
this
you
isn't a
know
bad
what?
time
It's,
either here. This weird beverage.
It's
Yeah, you looking up the pictures?
when you just Google dental dam,
Oh, God.
stuff comes up.
Yeah, I
First,
bet.
We're starting
Like
with
for
Bud Light,
dentists.
just so everybody knows.
We are pacing with Bud
It's like a-
Light.
dental. Oh yeah, it just looks like a
Fruit by the foot? Is it fruit by the foot?
Just
I
a
really
piece
hope
of
it's fruit by
plastic.
the foot.
just like a piece of plastic.
Weird. I'm not going to use that. Well, okay, guys. Today we are drinking Smithworks trademark American brewed hard seltzer lemonade. Classic lemon flavor. They had raspberry. We went with lemon. And it is a 5% alcohol. It is hard seltzer with a Heartland twist.
Heartburn twists.
Heartburn and twist. For a good time, for happy hours through to golden hours, for kicking up dust with the whole gang, or just kicking back with the family. I felt like that should have rhymed less.
No, it has to be
Because they
sung like a
rhymed
country
hours with
song.
hours.
No, it's a country
For a
song.
good time, for happy hours, through to golden showers. It should be golden showers. For kicking up dust with the whole gang, or just kicking back and having sex with my fam. So this beverage...
Well, I picked it because I wanted to stick with the malt liquor.
Yeah, we were going with the
because they did the
seltzery
seltzer.
stuff last week, and it's summertime. We want to drink something refreshing, so we're checking them out for you guys.
The
So
lemon smells like a fresh squeezed lemon.
that
Not gonna
really
lie.
smells like a fresh squeezed lemon. Oh
I'm
my
scared
god!
now.
Is this gonna? Oh, I really hope this is good. I genuinely
I hope it's good, too.
this is good because hard seltzer lemonades. I've had a few. Mostly the Truly. They're always, you got to get past that first taste. You got to pass the sip test, like number one.
Right.
Get the out of your mouth, and then the.
You should have used a dental dam.
I use
You
dental
don't want
dam
the
when I go to
in your mouth.
buffets, and it does not work out for me because I don't eat it. I just
Pabst
shove.
Hard Coffee.
Dude,
Shove.
get
Pabst
I
Hard
was,
Coffee is actually
I was
not
getting
bad.
dental
It
damned
wasn't.
at the
It
Golden
wasn't.
Corral.
That's what Richard's drinking over there?
Yeah, that's what Richard's drinking.
Nice. We did see that today. We didn't opt for that. We've had it in the past. So Zach, we're gonna take a sip of this, and then we're gonna let you know who the spokesperson of this was. We've been teasing it to Zach for a little bit now.
Oh, it smells like sucking a lemon's tit. Put a dental dam.
This is really good. This is really good.
It tastes so real. I felt like I got a piece of lemon seed in my mouth, but I didn't.
This is really good. Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, this is
Now,
really
they're
good.
not pushing real hard on the calories or anything like that. It literally does not say in big letters anywhere. It's 100 calories, 2 carbs,
Is that what it is? Is that what it
0
says?
fat, 0 protein.
Gotta be
This-
100 calories per serving size.
per serving. Per
But
12
this is
fluid
2,
ounces.
yeah.
So this is 2, but still, that's
No,
not
what-
bad.
Is this
That
24? Or?
I think this is a 24 ouncer. It also doesn't say, this is a get-a-made thing. This is a 7.5, 1.7.5. So that's
20.
just 23.5. It's just below 24 ounces.
So does that
So-
mean that
Smaller
it's
than
5%
Arizona,
alcohol
doesn't
per the can
It's
or per the
5%
serving?
alcohol. Every sip you take is 5% alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah,
We've done this before.
Yeah, we've definitely done
I'm
this
sure.
before.
I'm sure we have.
And you don't understand what by volume means.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
an idiot.
You're a great chef, though.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Now, Zach, we were teasing to you that the person who's the spokesman for this, their significant other gets mentioned in our upcoming video from Don't Panic that will be playing for you shortly.
Yeah.
It's Blake Shelton. It's Blake Shelton is the spokesperson for
Oh,
this.
well, yeah, that's why there's a tractor.
That's
on
why
the
there's a
front.
tractor.
That is why there's a
that-
tractor.
But I just want to say, it says Smithworks, and all I can think
Can you
looking at
name
it
a Blake
is
Shelton
Smithworks. Down the road by my home, the dusty dirt road. These are all individual songs. My friends,
Sheldon
and my family.
Shelby.
I feel like he's one of those people that
He
I
was-
see his face, I know who he is.
I know him from The Voice.
and I know that
him
he's
only
on.
from
And
The
I know
Voice.
he's a country singer.
Yep, I like him.
I could not tell you a fucking Blake
Could you
Shelton
tell
song.
a single Miranda Lambert song? Because that was his lady for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know any of her songs.
Okay, so
Gunpowder
if-
and Lead.
Oh, that's Miranda Lambert?
Yeah.
They all sound the same.
So just so you know, if you search him, the first
Yeah.
3 songs that come up off of Google
Yeah.
is Minimum Wage,
I'm Just a Girl.
Corn,
Corn.
Now Don't
Corn?
I.
I'm sorry, say the last one again?
Now Don't I.
Now
no,
Don't-
no, I'm sorry. Jesus, I'm an idiot. Now I don't.
Now I don't.
Now Don't I.
Now don't I? Shelton Blake, I listen.
I know how to read, now don't I?
Read, do I? Read well, I do. Yes, sir, Mom. Yeah. I said yes, sir, Mom. I don't know what that
Yes,
means.
sirree, Mom.
Yes, sirree, mother. Yes, sir, mommy, sir. I don't know any of his music. I know him from The Voice.
If your name is Blake, just get out of here.
Yeah, I don't really know that many Blakes.
get
I
outta here,
don't.
dude.
Get
I
out
know
of here.
people with the
Fucking
last
out.
name Blake, and I think I met one other Blake in my entire life.
John Quincy Blake.
John Quincy Blake Adams. Yes, that's his son, John Quincy Blake Adams. All right,
Sheldon?
guys. What are we gonna give this guy? I think that this deserves a good rating. That's my personal
Well,
opinion.
for a malt beverage,
How much were they? Do you remember what these cost per can? About
$3.90 something.
that's not bad.
No.
I mean, it's a lot for.
I don't. But they do have it in
For
a
what it
variety
is, it's a
pack.
lot.
It's
Yeah.
$20 for a 12-pack.
Yeah, so it's right on par with the Trulies and everything like that.
Yeah.
All the hard seltzers that are doing the $20 12 packs.
Which is a little crazy, isn't it?
A little absurd because it's seltzer.
Yeah.
With alcohol in it, sure, but it's seltzer still. 60. I could go buy a bottle of Vlad and 68 cents worth of fucking black cherry seltzer from Weiss.
Yeah.
Mix them together and be real shit faced and have just as many calories, if
You
not
know what?
less.
You know what we should try?
Making
we
our
should,
own seltzer.
Well,
with one of those bubbly
no.
machines, and we pour vodka into
Yes,
it.
we should try that.
should do
Actually,
that.
that's actually a thing we should
We're
do.
gonna do that now.
Okay.
We're going off.
Later, guys.
Sorry, guys. Bye.
I want a White Russian seltzer.
Ooh,
We can try all kinds of different.
Milk seltzer.
milk seltzer.
You have milk stouts.
Yeah.
Milk seltzer.
Milk
That's
seltzer.
gonna be the new hard kombucha milk seltzer. So good.
Do they have hard kombucha?
They have hard
They do.
kombucha. Yeah, we saw
They're
a
actually
couple
not
of them.
bad. They're not bad.
I'm willing to take a journey down that road.
I don't know if I've ever had kombucha.
I've only had kombucha once, and my stomach did not agree with it. But apparently, for some
There's
people,
different kinds of kombucha.
it might take a couple of them before your body's used to the live organisms you're consuming.
Yeah.
Is basically what it is.
Yep.
All right, so with this, the Smithworks, or the Smithworks, as I keep reading it, American Brewed Hard Seltzer Lemonade Classic Lemon Flavor. I am giving this, I'm going to give this a 75. This is up there for me. I can't put it in the 80s, but it's close. I'm gonna.
Would you want to?
I'm gonna go all American. This
through,
is a 76. I'm going with 76 on it.
Do you think that you could get
Give it
through
a
a couple of
17
these
so we
on
have
it?
all of it. And then you give it a 74 because that's July 4th. Let's cover all our bases here.
Well, I'm giving it a 70.
Way to fuck up the whole game there,
Sorry.
Justin, but all right. That's
But
an
do you
honest
think that
answer.
you could drink a bunch of these during a hot day?
I definitely do.
Yeah, I do too.
I really think that this is, so far, of all of the hard seltzer lemonade combos I've had, this is the best one by far.
Yep.
Like 1,000%.
I feel like it's fresh lemon. I
Yeah.
think that's the difference.
It does-
has like a bitter
it tastes like you
bitterness
just
to
broke
at the
it
end.
into
I
a
feel
limo.
like this, 2 of these, and you're not gonna want any more.
That's
like,
why you
you'll
have
be-
the
you'll be
variety
good at
pack.
It's
You get the
good now.
strawberry.
It's
Yeah.
good now.
Yeah, but if this is
does
how
it
good the lemon
stay
was,
good?
how good do you think the raspberry is, and how good do you think the strawberry or the
True.
whatever other flavors they have? I'm gonna give them. Next time I go to
Should
buy
you
one of
put
those 12
lemon
packs,
under all that in terms of flavor?
I generally like, for iced teas, I like a raspberry iced tea more than I like a lemon flavored iced tea. But I like a lemon flavored iced tea more than I would like a strawberry iced tea.
I only drink one kind
I
of
go
iced
raspberry
tea.
and lemon. That's pretty much the two. And then, well, with green tea and all
Green
that.
tea,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
don't they have? They should have green tea.
Hard Arizona green tea. They started making hard Arizonas. We tried one a couple of weeks ago. But it's made in Poland, but it's Arizona.
All right, so these
very strange.
the variety pack is classic lemon, like we have ripe strawberry,
Yeah.
southern peach,
Okay.
and crisp lime.
All right. I would try all of those. Usually the lemon or the lime of seltzers is my least favorite.
That's
I
It
my
usually-
does have
hands
1
down
gram
favorite.
of sugar.
Yeah, that's the one I
It has
usually
1
don't.
gram of
I
sugar.
like the mangoes. I like the black cherries. I like the more in-your-face flavor with those. And then the lime, I really can't do.
I wish you could get
And
a
dairy
White
seltzer
Claw
would be
lime
rough.
only case.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Lime only? I thought you can't get a lime only case?
Not anymore.
Not
I haven't
anymore?
seen one in a long time.
I've been seeing the watermelon kiwi ones or watermelon lime. They have some, or watermelon mint, I think maybe one company
Weird.
has. Yeah, really weird ones.
Well, I just saw the sour ones today. I would give a sour seltzer a try.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But again, I could just get a Warhead and a can of seltzer and a bottle of Vlad. Come on. Let's
Or
do
you
it.
just get a dental dam and a fucking jar of Vaseline.
That's all you gotta have. That's all you gotta have.
I'm gonna give this a 69.
69?
All right.
Hell yeah. All right. So that is where we're going to rank it. We're going to probably take at least most of the interview that we're about to play for you to consume the rest of this beverage. So a little bit of a lead-in. Again, we sat down. I went over with Justin, and we went to the rehearsal space of Don't Panic, and we watched them practice for a little bit, and then we sat down and interviewed them at the Star Wars bar. We cut it out, but I mentioned Star Trek a couple of times in there. I brought up my name for the band At the Gates McFadden because I thought it was clever.
good, yeah.
But it was way too much other
Did he
people
not
talking.
think it was funny?
No, he got it and he enjoyed it, but way too many other people were talking over. Like, it was just one of those moments that we couldn't pull just that audio out. So unfortunately, that's on the cutting room floor.
Rich brought up a good idea, not to cut you off.
no, cut
He
me
said
off.
we need to have a live comparison: Vlad and seltzer versus hard seltzer.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a pre-taped video we can do.
So we need to do that, Rich. Let's get together.
Let's
we'll figure it out.
home
We'll
make
get a
bunch of beverages.
We'll
Let's
get
see if we can do it
a
better.
soda jet street,
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
the fuck that
homemade
is.
beverages. We'll do it in the secret bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Let's
it'll be
do it.
good. It'll be good. All right, guys. So, again, don't need too much of a preamble for this. This is an interview with Don't Panic. Justin edited it together wonderfully today.
Yep.
And it was a fun time. I thoroughly enjoyed
It was a
myself.
really nice ride.
And
It's great
it was
down
a
there,
beautiful
dude.
day, too. It was just so gorgeous. We're not going to say the area that they live in because we don't want you stalking them or anything, but we will say that we did this interview. The nice bar and everything is in the basement of a funeral home.
Yes.
And the practice is like right where they would park a hearse or something like that. So that level of it was kind of a cool setting. But you don't really get much of that here. But this is our interview cut up the way we like to do things. Lots of fucking jump cuts for you guys. So let's jump right into it. And then right afterwards, you'll be, we're going to take a break and then introduce the song after.
Yeah, I think we should come back.
So this is 15-ish minutes, a little bit around
15 minutes.
Around 15 minutes. So if you're listening as a podcast listener, you might want to jump online and check this out. But it still does work out. It still does work out because it's an audio interview.
Exactly.
We weren't interviewing by sign language, unfortunately. And I think they should have subtitles, though.
There is some sign language at the end, though.
There is some very crude sign language. So we'll let that,
some
that
asshole.
hang, some dick. Some dumb motherfucker. All right, guys, so here it is, our interview with Don't Panic, and then we'll be back to talk about their new single, Whoa, I. See you guys in about 15 minutes. All right, guys, I'm Kyle Mocha here with Houseboat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Joining me today is 3/4 of the band Don't Panic. Don't Panic released the full-length album See Through It All last year in 2020, and on June 4th, they're dropping the first single, Whoa, I, off of the upcoming album Dark Horse. Dark Horse will be released on September 3rd, 2021, and the record release show will be right before that, Saturday, August 28th, in beautiful downtown Stroudsburg.
The Mothership.
The Sherman Theater. All right, guys, joining me here, we have Ted Felicetti, we have Anthony Paisano, and Keith Slater. I said everybody's names right?
You did.
All right,
You did,
I had your name
absolutely.
written down as Fasano because we have a friend named Fasano.
No, that's not
That kid sucks.
Got the
Sounds
right
like
name.
you fucking suck.
It's terrible. All right.
What's his name?
His name is Anthony Fasano.
Bizarro.
Not
That's your
joking.
friend's name.
He's the Bizarro you.
Anthony Fasano. Fuck you, buddy.
We're coming for you, man. As a band, you've accomplished a lot in the last year. It's been a real shitty year for everybody. The lockdown kind of just threw everything on hold. But you guys already had an album in the works. I think it was pretty much wrapped at that point, right?
Yeah, we finished recording the album in like January.
All right. And so you then took the approach. Was it originally the idea to release one song every couple of weeks throughout the year last year? Or did it wind up working in your favor?
Sorta.
That this terrible thing happened to the rest of the world.
What it kind of was, you know, we had taken a break for about 8 years.
Yeah.
And when I last left off doing stuff, you would release albums still, and people bought CDs. Our friend who like kind of semi-manages our band was like, no, don't do that. Like, release just one song at a time, like every 6 weeks or so. So I was like, okay. So we gave that a try. So it kind of just like worked out that we had content planned for the entire year, and then everything shut down, but we still had all that stuff lined up. So I don't know.
That does
Pandemic
work
was
out.
great for us.
Yeah. Some people profited, all right? Bezos, don't panic.
Yeah.
You did a lot of recording. You did a lot of streaming live shows. You played Jeopardy a lot. I thoroughly enjoyed the Jeopardy that you guys were playing.
That was
Who was the biggest cheater, do you think, on Jeopardy? Who was definitely
This is an
cheating?
easy answer, and everyone's going to say the same answer. It was AJ.
AJ?
1,000%.
It'd take 12 minutes to answer a question.
And he'd just
Like,
be off to the side like, Now, who was the ultimate winner, do you think, crowned throughout this? I know there were some times there was like Star Wars, and it was a little unfair in your advantage.
I won the most episodes, but I think Anthony was probably the most consistent point-wise.
All right.
I won the most, but then the ones I lost really bad.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
Just because of my consistency.
Correct.
But I think I came in last one time by a pretty wide margin.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That was probably the time I won. The one time.
I think-
And it's just a totally different way for people to get to know you guys as a band, which
Right.
is what I really liked about it. Because I've known Ted, I've known Keith, but AJ and Anthony, I really don't know.
Yeah.
From afar, adoring from afar, I'll
course.
say. All those times you take your shirt off.
That's where I'll keep you.
Yeah.
I like to keep people at arm's length.
I don't want to get
honest
too
with you.
close. I want to imagine what the sweat smells like. I don't want to actually know.
You don't want to get too close. I'll just break
It's
your heart.
curved.
I don't want to hurt you.
I actually think the pandemic helped us in that people were desperate for entertainment.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think people's
Yeah.
they had their attention spans were, way longer than they normally would be.
People just lived on Facebook pretty
Yeah.
much for a
Yeah,
year straight.
for sure.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of live shows, how ready, maybe not necessarily as a band, but personally, each of you, and as a band, how ready are you for real shows with real people, the real crowd? Is it something that you're kind of nervous to get back to, or is it something that you are just like pumped to fucking go?
Yeah, I'm super excited
Yeah.
personally. I've been going crazy.
100% go.
Yeah.
Sunday the 6th, you will have already played with Face to Face That's got to be fucking awesome to have that be your second show back after a year. Such a I know people of our age, such a prolific punk band.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like one of my favorite bands ever. So I'm like out of my skin excited.
So in the last year, with the writing aspect of it, how has the approach to writing music changed at all from how you did it for the previous album to this album? Has it gotten to be more of a group effort? Is it still kind of you writing the songs, like the bulk of the songs, and then bringing it to the group and working it out? Has it been
everything was
more
kind
difficult?
of the same as last time? We were a little more involved this time, but
I would actually disagree. I think this time, I think you came up with the bulk of it just on your own, just having so much time to sit and work on it. It was much more developed by the time everybody else got to it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I set up here in the basement. I'd send him like a song and be like, here's the drums, here's the guitar, here's like a vocal line, and he would listen and he'd be like, all right, well, you should do this, and he'd come over, we'd mess around with it, I mean, we didn't do the recording like that. It was just the demo stuff.
You still got into a real studio.
Yeah, we went to Soundmine. We have access to Soundmine. That place is like the nicest studio ever, so we're gonna go.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now, in addition to the original releases that you guys have put out over the last 16 months as it's been, you've released a couple of covers. I thoroughly enjoy just the song itself, Mr. Blue Sky. So when I heard you were covering, I was really excited because I know your voice, and I'm like, yep, you're going to be able to fucking step into the Jeff Lynne role and crush it. And then you also released it with the music video.
Yeah.
And then you also did Windy.
It was just an idea for us to have something to put out after the last record. We were just like, well, let's just have some music come out. So we did it, and the idea was that each of us picked a song that would be like representative of something of yourself, or like something you just want to be like, this is what I like, or this song means something to me, whatever. I never heard of Windy before.
I was going to say, my question I was going to have for you, Keith, was Windy your choice?
Yes.
The person whose song it was would be the main person in the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. Because that's what I was thinking. I was watching, I'm like, I wonder if he chose this, and then that's why it was like, well, if you chose it, you've got to be the lead. Then.
Yeah, that's how we did the videos,
Right.
but he picked it for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful song, really fun video. Now, question specifically for Anthony. How much do you love White Reaper?
I love them very much.
I've noticed.
Okay.
Now, to go back to your previous album, specifically Fall of '99, the music video for it. I love the music video. When you were on my show last year, we talked about it a little bit. The Back to the Future homage, as you would.
Yeah.
If you guys had an unlimited budget and you could emulate any movie, what movie would you emulate in a music video?
I'll do like another homage thing. I've had a couple ideas that I've been tossing around. One would be a Karate Kid thing.
I have one. Weird Science.
I'm thinking Jurassic Park.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Even if it there's
Would you be Goldblum in the back of the Jeep being pulled away?
That's a layup. That's the natural choice. Yes.
All right. Question on band names. You guys have all been in multiple bands in the past. Locally, you've toured, nationally, everything. What is the best band name you've ever come up with that you didn't use?
God, I have so much trouble coming up with one good band name.
I had a bunch. The first one that came to mind, though, was Dogs for Sale.
Dogs for Sale.
I always like that. Yeah.
That's on par with the movie PCU, where they do free beer, or everyone gets laid, or whatever. It's like, tonight, everybody gets laid.
Yeah, exactly.
So the one that I came with my friend as a sweet metal band is Megatherium, which is the scientific name for a giant land sloth. We came with one, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
What is the worst band name you have ever actually played under?
I've only been in a couple of bands, but when me and my brother started our very first band with our friend Ian, we became Shortwave Radio. Before that, the band's name was Blunt, and then before that, our first name we came up with Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
That's a beer now.
I know.
That is literally a big. What is that a reference to something?
Yeah, it's
that
from
I'm not getting?
it's from The Simpsons.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
My first band that I started was called Second Best.
Yeah, that's like very New Jersey punk, fire hall
ska
band
type stuff.
Yeah.
So
what was your other bands?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind here is Punchball Hustlers. But I didn't hate playing under the name.
You were in Punchball Hustlers.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
I didn't hate the name, but I hated explaining to people what it meant.
Yeah, I never knew what it meant.
It didn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
It was just a joke about like hustling kids playing tetherball like up at Mountain View Park.
All right.
We were under a band named
You know,
Quick Fix, and
Quick
nobody
Fix?
would sign us or let us play anywhere because they thought we were just selling drugs.
All right, so think back to when you were 16 years old. What album was an album that you found around that time that has never left your rotation? What is like one of those albums that hit you? I'll tell you, for me, Kings of Pop by Homegrown.
98 or 99, and A Place in the Sun by Lit came out, and like that was like, I love that album. I still
And
love that album.
Still stays in your
I listen
rotation.
to it all the time.
Awesome. Anthony, what about you? What's one that you've been just sitting on for now going on 20 plus years for all of us?
I don't know. I guess the first one that came to mind would be Diorama by Silverchair. They never really... I mean, they had a couple hits in the United States. But anyway, that album is an amazing album. Really good album.
Keith, what about you?
I don't know. I'm like blank on this.
So it's 98. Well, no,
Maybe like
you're...
96. Probably like Good Riddance.
I think Comprehensive Guide came out like 97.
Because I was just getting into that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Say it was
those years.
Out Came the Wolves. Is that around the same time?
Yeah. I guess
Yeah,
Is that a big one for you?
Yeah.
That hit you there?
Yeah. That was like the first time that I was like oh wow, that bass player is really good.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't distinguish bass from guitar like as a kid listening to music.
If you could erase one musician or band from existence, from history, you could just remove them, and they never existed. Is there any one band that you would get rid of? And let's keep it with the mainstream. We don't have to do any low, punching to anybody.
What's that group now that's super popular?
BTK?
Yeah, that's it.
B2K? BTK?
It's like 10,
BTS.
it's like 10
BTS.
members. Yeah,
BTS.
they can go.
And they're all the pretty one and the bad boy all
Yeah.
at the same time.
It's-
I don't get it.
That's
I-
weird.
it's
I don't get it. We're
that
going to
whole-
get canceled probably for this, but
It is,
it
but
is a very
I'm answering
mean-spirited
the
question.
question. I'm just
It is a
answering the
very-
question.
I'm a generally happy-go-lucky, mean-spirited person. It's a weird balance that I have.
There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe the Insane Clown Posse?
All right.
So I would do that just to see what
What all the juggalos do?
What would fill the power vacuum
Like,
of
Oh my
fake
God.
drinking
yeah, exactly.
kids?
Yeah.
Something would have to replace them,
Kid Rock just would have been way bigger out of Detroit if he
Maybe.
didn't have to compete with their fans.
It could be.
They just all would have been on the Kid Rock train.
That's what I mean. I would like to see. Or maybe like Weird Al, Like,
Oh, that'd be terrible and amazing.
what about the Beach Boys? Because if we took the Beach Boys away,
You just
right?
lose like pop kind of.
Yeah.
Charles Manson never joins their rights with them, and then
He's not as high up.
And then the movie Once
in-
Upon a Time in Hollywood
and
never
then
gets made.
Keith, do you have anybody that you would erase from history?
I was gonna say Gwen Stefani.
Ooh,
But post, no doubt.
just let her do No Doubt.
Yeah.
Just
And then-
it's
And then
She like dies in a car
let her
accident.
do I'm Just a Girl. But I'm going to end on this question. I'm interested to see, as any question, how you answer this. But if you had to exist for eternity in 1 year, on repeat as you are now, any year in history, what year would you choose and why?
Man, I really like the 90s a lot.
yeah.
I had a lot of fun in the early 2000s because I was like a teenager and like starting bands, but like I feel like mid 90s, like 1996.
96? Okay.
Yeah, like you could still like CDs and and people were on their phones constantly,
Yep.
which is kind of cool.
We would be this size.
Yeah,
that'd be like
That would be
mid-90s.
cool to do the 90s, but then
Yeah.
like if you go to like hang out with all your friends, you're like an old guy hanging
Yeah.
out with kids.
So the best way to get around that is to pick the year that when you were 30, because you're not a kid, but you're not.
You
old,
would
Yeah, everyone would be
so-
like, Keith, what happened to you? Like, you look really bad. Like,
Because you would be recognizable. Yeah.
What
He's
happened?
like, oh gosh, that's what'd you do yesterday? We saw you 2 days ago, and you were 29, and now you're
It's like
you're
big.
40.
Yeah,
what'd
But
you
it would be
do?
like a
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Hanks movie.
I was just thinking, like,
Reverse
or like,
big.
what's the Robin Williams movie where he gets like really old, really
Jack.
fast?
Oh,
Yeah. My new favorite movie, Jack, because of Bill Cosby. He's the greatest. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for letting us come down and bother you post-rehearsal.
No problem, man. Pleasure.
You got the shows that you will have already done when this comes out. But again, at the end of this summer, August 28th at the Sherman Theater, you'll be having your record release show
Yes, we will.
for the new album Dark Horse.
Yes.
And then you're going on tour with the Queers,
Yes, we are.
which is fucking awesome. I haven't seen them in like 15 years, so that's going to be fucking
Yeah, we're
amazing
it's
time.
we have a 2-week tour with the Queers, and then we're playing Fest in Gainesville in October.
Nice.
And then we're also going to be doing like a 5-day tour with Bowling for Soup in the U.S.
Fuck yeah.
Doing Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Kind of making up for a lost time because you were supposed to have some good dates last year before everything shut down.
They promised us big things.
Fuck yeah.
They're going to cash in.
Yeah,
now.
so we'll be
If
busy.
not, you got that Rob motherfucker by the throat.
Exactly.
We'll kill him.
Yeah. We know where he lives. So.
Yeah, don't go after the other guys. They seem nice.
Yep.
They seem all right. All right, so if you want to let everybody know where they can find you on social media, where they can find you,
Sure.
everywhere.
You could go on Facebook. We're Facebook.com/Don't Panic Official, right? Yeah, and then our Twitter is Don't Panic PA, and then we are on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, all that stuff. You know.
Awesome. And then the first single, Whoa I, will be out when you are watching this. So go check it out, guys. Thank you, Ted, Anthony, Keith, so much for letting us come down and chit-chat with you.
Thanks, man.
And, hey, back to you in the studio, Kyle.
You fuck.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
All right, there you have it, guys. Again, we're dipping our toe into doing some, some pre-recorded stuff with the new transition that's in the near future. We're going to be doing a lot more pre-recorded stuff. So, really want to say a big thank you to the guys at Don't Panic for letting us kind of use them as an experiment and try out our hand at this. Yeah. And it was, again, a really fun time. And if you were lucky enough to see them face-to-face this past week, I'm sure it was a blast. Unfortunately, I had to work, so I wasn't able to make it. But I am really excited to now premiere not premiere. It's been out for a couple of days. But for us, premiere the lyric video to the new single, the first single off of Dark Horse from Don't Panic. Here it is. Justin, you got it ready?
I do.
Let's
real
jump right-
quick.
oh,
Rich is saying Megatherium
is
a
not a
well-known doom band.
Doom metal band. All right, so there you go. Every time you come up with a name you like, somebody's already taken it.
Bastards.
Keith did that years ago. He came up with milk water or something like that. Like
milkweed.
Not milkweed. It was like melt water. That's what it was.
Water.
Milkweed was you guys.
Yeah.
Keith wanted a band called Melt Water, and then Ethan, our buddy Ethan, who's been on the show in the past. He went and looked it up the other day or like a week or so ago, and there's a band called Melt Water that's existed for the last like 4 years or something like that. Every time you think of a good band name and you don't make it your band name, somebody else has either already done it.
We just had to punch our name right through the whole.
There's definitely other brunch options out there, but we're the best one. Yeah. All right, guys. So here it is, the lyric video for "Whoa I" from Don't Panic off of the soon-to-be-released on September 3rd album Dark Horse. Enjoy it. We'll be back shortly to discuss the second single off of Wasted and Waiting.
Yeah.
Who's feeling lonely? You see the writing on the wall. Who's feeling my needs? Got a prescription, so make a call. I don't remember ever being the type who cares. Don't blame me, it's my addictive personality. You can't see it's not what I want, but what I need. Spend your time with her. Every time we do what we must do, we play with fire and then you burn. I don't remember ever being the type who feels. Don't blame me, it's my addictive personality. You can't see it's not what I want, but what I need. Personality between you and me, it's not the guy I need to be. So step aside as I cry, whoa, why? Do I regret it? Well, no, let's just forget it. Do I regret it? Well, no, you shouldn't let it change your mind about you and I. Do I regret it? Well, no, let's just forget it. petty, well no, you shouldn't let it change your mind about you and I. What's one more time? Every rhythm has a rhyme. Don't blame me, it's my addictive personality. You can't see it's not what I want, but what I need. Don't blame me, it's my addictive personality. Between you and me, it's not the guy I need to be. So step aside, it's cry, whoa,
All right, guys, there you have it again. Whoa, the first single to be released from Don't Panic off of their upcoming album, Dark Horse. Again, August 28th in the beautiful downtown Stroudsburg area at the Sherman Theater. You can get their record release show. I know Headspell's playing, and then the Magwas, I think, is the other band from Scranton that's going to be playing along with them there. So, hey, man, y'all been complaining about Magwas.
Magwas.
Like
I was going to say, if Magwa is playing at Sherman, I'm there, dude.
Oh, my God, yeah. I haven't listened to these guys yet. I didn't hear about them, but he just added them, I think, today. But it's music, guys. It's live music. You've not been seeing shows for however long.
Yeah, go
to the fucking show.
Go
and
support
then
local shows,
all
live
the local
shows.
shows you can possibly support. Do it. And their album then drops on September 3rd. Now you can find them, as we said, at Don't Panic. Or actually, we didn't say it in that. At Don't Panic Just Rock on Instagram, and then you can find them on Facebook. And then anywhere you can stream music. If you can find Brunch, you can find Don't Panic. So go check it out all over the interwebs.
All over.
And speaking of Brunch, we got to discuss this single that we are releasing tonight.
Yeah.
To start it off, the song itself, it's called "Hangin' for a Sign," which I kept the name that, even though the lyrics don't ever say "hanging for a sign."
But it fits, though.
It fits. I like that better. The lyrics say "hanging for that sign," but the song basically, to me, I started writing this one when about 5 years ago I was taking a road trip. I took a Greyhound bus trip across the country.
That's 5 years ago?
5 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
The nightmare of a trip.
The nightmare of a trip, a 4-day trip from Allentown, Pennsylvania to Reading, North Carolina. That went through, you had to go down to Southern California, then up across. Like, it was a nightmare. It was supposed to be 4 days, took 6, and during that time we wound up going near like you're in Nevada, and I just started thinking about the Southwest, and then I remembered a friend that I had a little bit of a romantic entanglement with years ago, and she had moved to Arizona. And she had moved pretty much right when we were about to hit, like, our stride. Like, we were, like things were going good. I thought, like, we were about to start. And this is a girl that I had a huge thing for a while. And it was kind of a will they, won't they in our group of friends. And so she moved out to Arizona. And I, met up with her a little bit after she came back. And then it just never really worked out. And things, happen as they do.
Sure.
But while I was going across the country for the first time ever doing that, again in a Greyhound bus, I just started thinking about other people I know that have taken cross country trips and like the area that I was in, and it just kind of sparked this memory of the feeling of what I felt when she left and went across the country, and how I just felt like kind of stuck and waiting, which is again Wasted and Waiting, the name of the album. It kind of ties into most of these songs. But I just remember thinking about this, and then I didn't have a guitar with me. I jotted down a couple of lyrics, and then I get to Northern California, and after a couple of days of meeting people and hanging out, there's an open mic night. And I went, all right, I really wish I had something to play. So I played a couple of old songs, and I was only supposed to be there for 1 week, so it was just one open mic night that I was doing there. And after that open mic, I sat down with the guitar of a friend, and just started kind of messing around. And it was a very, as you'll hear the demos in a little bit, it's a very simple song. And I just started kind of feeling it out. And it wound up becoming what I gave you guys in Hayfork. I wound up staying in the town of Hayfork in Northern California, not just for a week, but for about 27 weeks. And I was there total, I think, about that. Like, I got there in August, I came back in December, and then I went back and spent most of February there as well. So about half of a year I was out there. And while I was there, like during that week, I decided that week that I called all of our old bosses, all of ours old boss. How would you say that?
Oh yeah, now I remember.
And I left a voicemail and just said, "Hey, thank you for the opportunity for working for you for the last 9 months, but for the second time, I'm quitting on you. Sorry, Barry." And I stayed out there. And to be fair, my boss at the time, Jill, told me you'd be an idiot not to stay out there. You got this opportunity.
Sure.
So I stayed out there, and my goal by the second Friday.
Oh yeah, because you were working at Yard of Ale, right?
Yeah, I was working at Yard. Yeah. And I wanted to finish this song so that if I changed my mind and decided to leave and come back, I wanted to do the song by the time I left there.
Right.
And so it was my goal to do it on the first or the second Friday I was there. And most of the reason the song is as simple as it is my musical ability isn't that great.
But it's not really that simple.
No.
The basis of it, like the playing, like I made it more over time, but the original, I remember playing it and the hook was always as it is in the song, like little words changed here and there. But I played it, and it was the first time I had played music live in a very long time. And there's this elderly Asian guy who was just like, I forget his name, but he was just this really sweet guy. And he came up to me and he goes, "I love that song." He goes, "That was great. This is a really good song." And that kind of was something that gave me a little bit of a push to not only work more on that song, but when I came home to start kind of writing,
finishing up the stuff that you were
gathering things. And 5 years later, I have this song to show for it. But it was very basic, and it was again, it was about the idea of somebody left. And you're just sitting there waiting and hoping that the idea of what could have been in that moment before they left, that you were going to rekindle that in some way. And a lot of these songs are very specific, like timestamps of when I wrote them. I didn't try to change the lyrics except to make it fit better in the song.
I mean, I think the lyrics are great. I think the song is great.
This is
a good
one,
song.
and we're gonna play the demo here in a second. But just since we're like kind of on that like vein, James O was over a couple of weeks ago, and we were working on music, and we were playing this one specifically. And he basically goes, "Is this the single? That hook is ridiculous. This would be a great closer. All this stuff."
Right.
And he was hearing like the beginnings of what we're going to be premiering tonight.
Right.
And it is probably the hook of mine that I've come up with that has gotten stuck in my own head the most. Right. And I thoroughly enjoyed.
Fasano was singing it at work the other day.
It literally is infectious, and
all of these songs I've had, like once you hear it, I'm like, all right, for the next 5 days, I know I'm going to be fucking hearing this in my head repeatedly at random periods.
Yeah. But I'm gonna play. Justin's gonna play for you now.
No, just click this button.
Justin's gonna play for you now. Me playing for you.
The demo. We're gonna pre.
So here's a little bit of the demo. It's about 30 seconds.
I'm not gonna mute the mics again.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it on. But this is what I presented the two of you with.
Right.
This is the bare bones of it all.
Yeah.
And we since have added so much to it. But I want to hear.
Well,
I want everybody
to
hear what it originally sounded like, because that's what we're doing this season.
Before we play the demo, I just want to say that a lot of these songs, when I first sat down, I was like, I can tackle this. And then I really sat down and listened to them, and I was worried that I was not going to be able to produce something for them. Like, it was just one of those things, and then as I sat down and played with it more, I was like, okay, it needs to be like this.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit more.
Yeah. I write simple songs that are complicated because I I realize that I play guitar like I'm playing the drums, even though I'm not a drummer.
Right.
I am trying to simulate what the rest of the band will do with just the guitar.
Well, in your head, you were just a singer-songwriter,
Yeah.
so you were filling in all the gaps.
I'm filling that gap, filling all those voids and everything.
I shouldn't say singer-songwriter, but
But
singer-songwriter.
no, that's where I was going. Oh,
right.
we got a one-eyed Jeff just in time
Hey,
to hear
Jeff.
this demo. So
All right, so let's play the demo.
Let's play the demo, and again, Mike's will be live for it.
Young and free and home to be wherever we choose to see. The world was ours, a choice was made. Before you left, you said to me, you'll be just fine. I was waiting for the phone to ring. I was hanging for a sign. But still, I'll be just fine.
Yeah, so it was very basic, but the finger picking, I kind of took to a lot of these songs, I kind of took like a Lindsey Buckingham approach of just kind of like play it in a way that only I can, because I couldn't sit there and show you exactly what strings, but my sense memory is good enough.
That beginning, the way you picked that there is Sleeping in a Submarine by Arcade Fire. The first big Arcade Fire song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm hearing that. Yeah, I can hear
Me
it.
and Justin took that and threw it in the fucking bin.
Yeah,
In the
you did.
bin.
You did. So for you guys, that's what I presented you with. Justin, you already started talking a little bit about the process.
Because coming from the way we were writing songs and the things that we were doing and having just free reign, and I discussed last week where it was like, keep it to what the song is, but more or less what I really wanted to do was sort of encompass all of what you like in music.
Yeah.
And get that overall feel. And I think that we've accomplished a lot of that.
Yeah, as we said last
There's
week,
a lot of different styles.
I grew up listening to, Saves the Day, Weezer, Foo Fighters. I was big into, the punk scene, from like 14 on. I got really into Bigwig locally. Obviously, the local punk bands that were referenced enough in that video we already played for you.
Right.
But I had that. But then, yeah, you both know, and what's so fun about this is that you both know what I like, but then you also
But I also
know
like the same stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just like, in particular with this song, yes, it has a driving force to it, but I felt it needed to be. I think the basic track that you laid out was almost like a D beat. You know what I mean? So I just ran with that, and it needed to have that punchy, upbeat, driving force.
Yeah,
to
because again, all of my songs are sad songs, so we need to make them happy sounding sad songs, which is one of my favorite things in the world. So a lot of this song, as it is now, it like listening to that demo. I haven't listened to really any of the demos while we've been doing this because I wanted to kind of pull away from that for me.
Right.
Listening to that demo, I go, this is a totally different. Like it's the same song.
Right.
The essence of the song is still there, but everything that the two of you added just made it totally different. And Zach, I was saying earlier to you, the guitar that you add in this specifically, you really leaned into my Weezer fandom on this one. And
can I say that's the most angry I've ever seen you trying to record a
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
track?
Yeah, talk about your side of being a musician on this before a producer. But what was like your experience? Because the bass lines are phenomenal. They're some of my favorite bass lines. I literally was just
the hard part was
rewinding
the
15
end,
seconds.
The solo at the end, trying to make it right with the vocals, and it's not even difficult. And I knew what I had to do. I just kept fucking it.
I did know that.
I
Jeff.
just kept fucking it up and fucking it up and fucking it up. And normally I don't get mad like recording.
Yeah.
But like I punched the table.
Yeah.
I was just
A
like,
few times.
I was just like, I know.
I thought
Like
we were
it's
done
fucking
for the
eight.
night.
It's 4 notes.
Yeah.
Like I know what I need to do, and there was this blockage of being able to do it.
Where your brain and your fingers weren't communicating at the
and
exact
and
moment for the right time.
It's not the hardest thing I've ever. It's not the most difficult or flashy or anything. But there was just a moment where I'm like. I was so frustrated with myself.
I feel your pain because there's a few times where in earlier recordings, probably even before we even started doing any of the EPs, that I would go to record something and you'd be like, it's just this, and I'd be like, I know, and then just start smashing the shit out of my snare, and you'd walk in and be like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, I know, I just can't get it right now. You know what I mean? So I feel your pain in that process. Like,
yeah. Now, the guitar work, the bass work, but not even picking one over the other because it all just melds together so wonderfully. Another thing that you added into this, which is both musician and producer level, so we can transition into the producer side of things. There's a little break in the song, and you went through a few iterations of what was happening musically, but there's a little bit of keyboard action there for a second.
Yeah.
And it was, again, encompassing things that I love. I went, this has a Cyndi Lauper feel. And then when I came back the next time, you went, all right, I made it less Cyndi Lauper here. But it still has that, like, it just all drops, and there's just, like, beautiful. Was that the DX7 or was that MIDI that you did that?
No, remember? I think that was probably Loom.
All right, and it just has that beautiful 80s feel for like a half a second basically, and it makes all the difference. And a big thing with this, again, I handed over strummy strum guitar parts with my vocals. And so it was all about the dynamic and the rise and fall of each song, and then where they fall within the actual album. The first song is a slow build. I wanted that false sense of security, and this song really winds up just like punchy in the face a little bit more right off the bat, riding off the energy of that last song.
Yeah.
So from a producer standpoint, what were the things that you were working on this one? Obviously, we're going pop. We want this to be a catchy single. We want all of them to be catchy and stand up in their own right, but then also as a part of the whole project.
We're not trying to overplay parts of it. You know, the first couple of throughs of the bass part, there was way more. I was playing way more.
You were trilling all over the place.
There was way more guitar solos. There was 2 halftime parts. There was
you cut out a whole section.
Like 5 minutes of a song.
Yeah,
I
cut almost a minute out of the song. And I cut a lot of frivolous guitar noise.
Yeah, there's even parts where you're like, we don't need this vocal part here because you've already done it 5 times. So this could be the spot where the solo is, and not have this spot for the solo, and also this spot right after for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of just paring down. Like, before I started mixing, before the vocals, before I started getting a mix together so you could do vocals, there was so much that I just cut out. I spent a couple of hours just putting things in and out and in and out, and ended up with fucking throwing a bunch of it out.
Fuck it. And honestly, that's what I really can appreciate and respect your knowledge and your, both of you, your musical backgrounds, both as fans and as musicians. I like have the trust there that I know that you were making it a better song when you're cutting something out, and we're at the part now where it's like, all right, like that ego side for me, where it was like at one point, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just gonna release this as just like as the demos are, like, because at one point that was my thought, like maybe this just gets released as this and that's all it is. But handing it over to the two of you and letting you, Zach, kind of just take the reins on the producing side, it really pushed the song into another level. It was already catchy and infectious, and we already have Ant fucking singing along at work to it, which is great. And while we were working on it the other night, he was sitting there and humming it to himself, and I was like, that is, again, warms my little fat fucking heart to have something I birthed, and then now you have reared it into an adult. But is there anything? I don't know. I just really want to hear it.
I'm excited to listen to this whole album.
Is there anything else you guys want to say about this song specifically?
Real quick, it reminds me of 3 songs right off the bat.
All right.
Summertime.
Like Summertime and the Living's Easy?
Yes.
Okay.
Toadies.
Yes, maybe a little bit there.
And for sure Weezer.
Yeah, it's definitely, again, if you know, and you'll pick it out. But there's just this very specific thing you do with the guitars that just was the right choice, and it just worked. And it's a very Weezer way of going about things. Even kind of a Nirvana way of going about things at certain points.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into it. So
All right.
here it is. The album again, Brunch presents Kyle Mocha's Wasted and Waiting. Here is Hanging for a Sign. We'll see you guys in about 4 minutes. Really hope you enjoy this.
Young and free and home to be wherever we choose to see. World was ours, a choice was made. Before you left, you said to me, you'll be just fine. I was waiting for the phone to ring. I was hanging for that time. So until I'll be just fine, waiting in here, thinking you're coming back. I'll be just fine, waiting in here. I hope you're coming back. I hope you're coming back. In my mind, a sad song to sing. Keep me grounded, keep me seen. World you know, far beyond this berg. Safe and sound, this is your place to be. And you know me. I was waiting for the phone to ring. I was hanging for that sign. So until I'll be just fine, waiting in here, thinking you're coming back. I'll be just fine, waiting in here. I hope you're coming back. Wasted on this dark for days and days and days. What if you don't hold true? But until I'll be just fine, standing right here, thinking you're coming back. I'll be waiting for the phone to ring. I'm still hanging for that sign. So until I'll be just fine, waiting in here, thinking you're coming back. I'll be just fine. I'll be right here. I'll be just fine. I'll be right here. Where are you coming back? Oh, 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 I'll be just fine. I'll be just fine.
All right, guys, there you have it. Again, that is Hanging for a Sign, the second track off of Brunch presents Kyle Mocha's Wasted and Waiting.
Yeah.
Keith says it sounds dope. Sean says hell yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome, wonderful. I'm glad somebody enjoyed it. Yeah, that guitar part, and what I was alluding to beforehand. You play the melody low, like you're playing on the bottom two strings or the top two strings. Top two strings, bottom two strings. What do you call it? You're playing low E. Is that a top string? Do you go top, or is the high E the top, I mean, because
No, I guess that's the top string.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, somebody
The,
smarter than
it's
us.
the
let us
low
know.
string.
Yes.
But it's the top string.
Yes, exactly. So you were just
The
playing on
lower in pitch strings.
You were playing on the lower end pitch strings and pitch strings. Good band name.
Strings.
And hi, we're pitch strings. Sounds like pits rings. Pits rings.
Ooh, I like peach
We just
rings.
chuck
Peach
strings at
rings.
you.
Hi, we're peach rings. We've got
That
strings that
sounds
come
like
out
a
of our pits.
euphemism for buttholes.
Ooh, good old peach ring.
I could.
Nice and sweet.
Give me a dental dam. I'm about to go in on a peach ring.
Now, I will just let Justin know once again, Zach is frozen.
It's a
what
peach
the
ring
hell?
buffet.
It's a peach ring buffet.
Oh, it's
But
a
yeah,
peach ring in your butthole.
not only was you doing the vocal line on the guitar
Weird.
on the low end, not only was that something that was awesome, but that you kind of said it. Let's co-heed this up a little bit. You threw that up like that part, and both times that it happens, it is amazing but different.
Thanks, Rich.
And
Thank you, guys.
thank you so much. Awesome, thank you guys. But it literally just kicked it into overdrive, and I was driving around the last couple of days listening to the mix without the final vocals on it, and I just kept going back a minute and listening to the last minute of the song over and over again.
Yeah.
And I really hope that not only everybody that's wonderful enough to be in here appreciating it, but other people can get that feeling from it, because it literally is such a sad idea lyrically, and
That's
it
why
is
I love ska
one of
and pop punk
Yeah.
for that sense, because it's
Yeah.
always fucked up, shitty, sad lyrics where
you're sitting
whatever.
at a gun or sitting at a desk with a gun in your hand,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
all that stuff, but it's just the
Sing
happiest
it.
sounding thing
My,
ever.
my.
Yeah, time does fly. Well, you know you're gonna die. But by the end of the night, hey, couldn't not finish that. I'm sorry. It's like Cartman
Non-frozen Zach.
with Sail Away. Oh, non-frozen Zach, who's now hiding behind. Oh, I guess that mic might. Yeah, you gotta learn. You gotta lean in a different way with it.
Seeing Frozen
Yeah,
Zach,
the other
hearing
way.
not Frozen Zach is something.
Now next week's single is called "Faking What We Want," and of all of the songs that we've worked on, this one is still kind of. I mean, compared to last week and this week, this is the one that is still the most kind of in the works still.
Right.
So
It's fucking with me.
it's fucking with Zach mentally.
So there may be a possibility that I have to redo drums. I don't know.
Yeah, he might.
There may be a possibility we don't do any drums
Maybe.
on the song.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it literally is. It's all over the place, and so many different ways that it could go. Really, two different ways that it could go. But that song, it'll be
Spencer's
done by
on that
Tuesday,
one, too.
and Spencer's on that one. You heard him earlier this episode on our opening theme song, playing that wicked guitar solo. But we have we've got, after this, 8 songs that are being released. So I hope you guys keep coming back and listening to the live show, because again, this is the only way you're hearing these songs until we drop the entire album
Yep.
in August. But that's I mean, I'm just really, really happy with how that turned out. I'm really excited for the rest of this.
Me too.
Next week, however it winds up going, I know it'll turn out the way that it needs to turn out.
Yep.
And that's the wonderful comfort that we have in this room, with knowing that we're gonna get to where it needs to go.
Right.
You know, even if Justin doesn't play on it at all, even if you cut all my vocals out, you know,
Yeah.
it'll still be a song.
It's instrumental. It's a Spencer Fitch solo.
It's a
That's the
Spencer
whole
Fitch solo.
thing.
Now, speaking of, Spencer will be our guest next Tuesday.
Hell yeah.
Via Zoom, because he won't drive up here. Like, what the hell, man?
What
What is
the
it, like
fuck,
12
man?
hours? Not 10 hours? It's not that far, right?
Conshohocken?
Oh, I
not
thought he
that
lived
far.
down south
No,
for some
man,
reason.
he lives
Did
right
he used to
outside
live in
Philly.
the south?
Nope.
No,
He
for
can't-
some
he
reason
comes
thought
from
he
the
lived
Northlands.
He used to live in Tannersville.
Yeah,
comes
I
from
thought
the
he lived in like
Northlands.
Virginia or something like that.
No,
It
he
sounds
lives in
like he's-
Conshohocken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, motherfucker, drive. Jesus. I thought you were just being extra rude to him, because I was like, I think he lives in like Virginia somewhere. I don't know. But I appreciate your
I'm
guitar
just being
playing.
extra. No, I was just being real.
You should be real.
It's hard on a weekday though.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
get
sure,
it.
for
I
sure.
get it. I get it.
Everyone's
And
gotta
so
work
we're
the
very
next
excited
day,
that
you
We
he will
picked
be
the
here
shittiest day for
in the,
everybody
in,
to try
in the
and get
capacity
together.
that he is able to be here. So he'll be here next week. And we've got a lot of awesome music to come over the next couple of weeks. But I did want to point out that next week we have a band called Batshit Crazy. And I'll just be upfront about this. I was not sure how Batshit Crazy was going to sound I judged them on their name and the fact that they use a $sign for the S and stuff like that, and they fucking rock. Well, I've been listening to a good amount of their music, and I'm very excited that we're going to be playing them and having Spencer on the show.
Little backstory is Kyle started sending me some of the bands that we're going to feature.
Yes.
And he sent me a few in succession.
Yes.
And me typing back to him quick, I was like going through, and he said that same thing to me, and I like gave Batshit Crazy?
Yeah.
A listen, and without realizing what I did is I sent him a message back saying, I love Batshit.
Yes. Yeah, you just
and then
said,
immediately said,
love Batshit.
I retract my last statement.
I love guano.
Yeah.
Ooh, you love that guano.
Dude,
oh, yeah.
El Guano Loco.
El Guano Loco. Oh, that would be Batshit Crazy. Yeah. So we're gonna have all
AC/DC,
that
Rich, or
next
actual
week for
thunder?
You. Ooh,
Which one?
It's probably real thunder outside, knowing how these days.
AC/DC outside your house, dude?
That would be. We're coming over, motherfucker.
The ghost of Bon Scott just hanging out in your front yard, face up. Turn that motherfucker over. He doesn't need to go through that twice. The vomiting and dying. The vomiting and he died.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody that is listening live. Huge thank you to everybody that's listening in the future and in the past. Big shout out to all of our friendly Future Past. If you're listening to Future Past, doubly love you. Everybody, check out our friendly podcast. Sean and Dave Make Music. Go check out Not Movies, but What Do We Know? The true crime podcast that we do the opening theme music for, and a little jingle in between once in a while. And also, as we spoke of earlier, Let Me Ask You a Question. You can check out the latest episode. If you're listening to this in the future, it's out already. If you're listening to it right now, it should be out tomorrow. But go check out Let Me Ask You a Question, usually with Anthony DeAngelis, but not the next episode. And Greg Aman and super producer EJ5000. Big ups to EJ. Always getting us out to you guys every Monday on the Moot Monday drop, where you can get us, Let Me Ask You a Question, that you can check out on moot.tv. It's a website you can check out in your browser. Whatever your browser is, it'll show up in all of them, I promise you. Unless you have
Dental Dam.
Unless you have Dental Dam as a browser. That's
just so you know, the coast is clear. It's just AC/DC outside.
It's just AC/DC. Okay, we're good. All right, well, we got to wrap the show up so we can go hang out with AC/DC. Yeah. We'll be over in 10. Go check out all those shows. Go check out moot.tv. You can get a bunch of swag and everything from Let Me Ask You a Question and their other shows on there. Not us, though. One day you'll be able to get our swag.
Maybe.
We'll be doing retro Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up shirts 2 years after the show ended. It'll be good. But yeah, the big thank you to Mr. Justin Olampado for putting everything together tonight. Wonderful job. Love the drums.
Thank you.
And literally just you really helped with what was already an infectious song, really just pushing it
thank you.
over the limit there. Man. And as always, a huge shout out to Mr. Zachary
El Guano Loco
Storman. All right, guys, again, we'll be back next week with Batshit Crazy Batshit Crazy, aka El Guano Loco. And then also Spencer Fitch as our guest to talk about everything that he's helped us out with on this album. We will be back, and then the third song will be on that episode. So just keep coming back, and then the full album will be dropping in August. So thank you guys.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Hi,
Fuck
Jess.
the fans.
Fuck the fans.
James.
And James.
And
you
Cannon.
Later.
Moot.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your own show. Who am I? Kelsey Grammer. If I could only drink like him, we're gonna write a new one every week. Some will be solid, some will be weak. We're gonna write a new one every week. little pieces of shit.